Witcher 3 is a masterpiece of an action role-playing game that was released in 2015 by CD Projekt Red. It received very high ratings from critics and gamers alike, with some even giving it a perfect score. It is highly replayable in 2023, especially with the enhanced edition that improved the graphics and performance of the game. I played this game before, but never really got to finish it. I decided to give it another try this year, and I loved it. I wanted to explore every nook and cranny of the vast and detailed game world. There are no boring open fields where you walk endlessly and take too long to get from one place to another. The open world itself took up so much of my time, but it was so worth it. Even though there was nothing to be found on one corner of the map, just getting there and breathing in the sights was rewarding. The world is huge, and the surroundings are interesting enough to explore. Sometimes I would discover hidden stashes or dungeons that were not marked on the map, and this made exploration feel even more rewarding. But enjoying the sights and appreciating the world design was in itself a great experience. The story is very engaging and immersive. It follows Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter known as a Witcher, who is looking for his adopted daughter Ciri, who has special powers and is being hunted by a group of spectral riders called the Wild Hunt. Along the way, Geralt reunites with old friends, makes new allies and enemies, and gets involved in the political turmoil of the war-torn continent. The story is full of twists and turns, choices and consequences, and memorable characters. This game is more than a typical fantasy game. The conjunction of the spheres, a concept that I found confusing at first, became fascinating when I learned what it was. Ciri reminded me of America Chavez, a Marvel character who can travel to different dimensions and worlds. She even visited a world once that resembled modern Earth, where she told Geralt that people used guns or long-range weapons with scopes in war. The world of Witcher portrays a dark, cold, and brutal world where monsters and humans alike are often dismembered in bloody ways. The side quests are also well written and varied. There are monster contracts that are unique quests that expand the monster lore and challenge your combat skills. Then there are the other quests, which are not just filler or fetch quests, but mini stories that are engaging, intriguing, emotional, and sometimes humorous. Some quests with major choices can affect the game world. Some of them involve choosing who will be the next king of Skellige, choosing to help one party over another, which may result in the chosen party to have the advantage in the war, or someone dying or not. A short side quest in this game can evoke strong emotions, reveal the harsh realities of war, and make you empathize with the characters. I remember one side quest where I helped a Nilfgaardian mother find her son, who had been drafted. I learned that he had been executed for planning to desert. Desertion is usually a cowardly act, but his letter to his mother showed me that he was never meant to be a soldier. He hated killing, especially innocent people, and he couldn't bear it anymore. This quest was brief, but it moved me deeply and made me reflect on it. Witcher 3 is a game that excels at storytelling. The quests, dialogues, and narratives are well written and engaging. They are not just dull tasks of killing or fetching things. Every quest is captivating and meaningful. The combat system is fun and intense. It involves using swords, crossbows, bombs, and signs or magic spells to fight against different enemies, such as bandits, monsters, or soldiers. You have to use proper timing of parries, dodges, and attacks to survive any battle in Witcher 3. The combat is also very satisfying and realistic. Your sword could cut through your enemy's limbs or your signs set them on fire. The crafting and alchemy system are also very useful and rewarding. You can create weapons, armor, potions, oils, and bombs using diagrams and ingredients that you find or buy in the game world. You can also upgrade your gear with runes and glyphs that enhance their stats and effects. You can also hunt for sets that belong to different Witcher schools and have different advantages and disadvantages depending on your playstyle and builds. Plus, they aesthetically look cool. Another feature in Witcher 3 that is and has been a standalone game mode is Gwent, a card game that can be played with many characters in the game. It is a strategic and fun card game. The game also has two expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine. They add new regions, quests, and a lot of other stuff. They have their own stories that are as engaging as the main one. In addition to how engaging the stories are, the voice acting is truly superb. Even some side quests were well worth doing just listening to the characters talk. When Geralt gets mad at someone or gets pissed off, it feels amazing. I get pumped up and get a small burst of adrenaline. Geralt is such a calm badass, and when I get to be him and intimidate fearsome people, it truly feels satisfying. And the music is also fantastic. It sets the mood and atmosphere of the game perfectly. And the game's length? Well, if you're like me and love to explore the whole map, then this will take so much of your time. The world of Witcher universe is very interesting. It has a well-written backstory and timeline, books, a TV series, and an animation. It was amazing to walk the land of a well-developed world that has its own fleshed-out history, culture, and lore. Witcher 3 is one of the best games I have ever played. It has everything to look for in a game: a great story, a vast world, a fun combat system, a rewarding crafting system, and a lot of content. It is a game that I will always come back to and enjoy. I highly recommend this to anyone who loves RPGs or fantasy games. If I am to give a score for this game, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Even to this day, Witcher 3 is incredibly superb.
The Third Northern War ended. The invader from the south achieved complete victory. Robbed of Radovid's tactical genius, the northern realms could not withstand Ymir's countless legions. Black banners appeared over Novigrad and all Redania. Weary of rebel raids, Ymir Varemres conceded, restoring Temeria as a realm in liege to the Empire. When the guerrillas laid down their arms, the Emperor shifted his forces to other fronts. Through Nilfgaard's victory, Temerians got their country back, and history once again proved a consummate trickster. Having dealt with Radovid, Ymir of Varemres did the same with enemies domestic. The Emperor's loyal spies named all who had conspired against him, traitors, soldiers, and aristocrats alike. Though their mutiny had only been a murky plan, the Emperor showed no mercy, as was his wont. While the continent bled engulfed by war, Skellige bloomed under Ceres's enlightened rule. Unlike those who had come before her, the young queen did not raid foreign shores, looking instead to her people, tending to her land. The island-bound nation prospered, though its fangs of yore were dulled. Cirilla, Fiona, Ellen, Rhiannon, heir to Nilfgaard's throne, chose the life of a witcher on the path. Geralt taught her all he knew, every skill he possessed, then each set off on their own. Soon word of the ashen-haired witcheress had spread throughout the north, from the Yaruga to the mountains of Kovir. And what of Geralt, you might ask? Well, he continued on as before, giving hand to mouth, job to job, on the road, ever coinless. We would meet at times over a glass of strong drink to talk about the old days and speculate what could have, would have, might have been.